crawled out of my bed. My back was really aching. My eyes were cherry red. It's just the morning after. I don't remember who was here. I'll eat a slice of that cold pizza and wash it down with warm beer. I got that not so fresh feeling from my head down to my toes. I think I had a good time. Heaven only knows. It's just the morning after. Lord, it's funky up in here. Help me now, yeah. I'll eat a slice of cold pizza and wash it down with warm beer. Yeah, you got it now, hey.
Yeah, you got it now. Hey, welcome to the Morning After with JP and Big Joe. My name is JP. Right next to me, as always, except last week, making his triumphant return to the show, it's Big Joe. How you doing, Big Joe?
Hey, I'm good. Thank you. And how are you today?
Good, man. Good. I missed you.
You know, I missed you too. I'm not going to lie.
Really?
Yeah, no, it was this Monday, my Monday, just there was something missing. Something didn't feel right. I felt empty. Like I didn't charge my battery to my vibrator or something. Like it just didn't have that
When you're empty and you need to be filled, grab the vibrator.
But just make sure it's been plugged in and
Of
properly
course.
sanitized.
Always.
Always.
Yeah, always. Hey, guys, welcome to the show. It is Monday. We are live. It's 11 a.m. here on the Pacific coast of the United States. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Thank you to those who are watching via YouTube on the repeat or live via YouTube. You can watch live on YouTube as well. Some of our most dedicated viewers watch live on YouTube. It's a great place to see stuff. I don't know why I push the Twitch so hard, but we're also live on Twitch. That's something. I don't know.
Well, it's our home network, you know?
I like that. It is our home network. It is the network which possibly has the most upside when it comes to making money. Not that we make any money from this, but I think if we were to get enough followers, enough subscribers and whatnot, we'd be getting paid, but we're not there yet. Folks, that's where you come in. Like, share, subscribe, if you want. But we'd appreciate it. We do like the liking and the sharing and the subscribing. Yes, let's see here. We had Vic Stone was guest hosting last week. Joe, were you able to catch any of the show? I know you were busy. That's why you weren't on the show. But
You know, I didn't watch all of the show, but I hopped on and got to watch a little bit. And I came on when you were watching. Who were you watching? You guys were making fun of a video, a band. It was Puddle of Mud. Yeah, because what it was is I figured out it was Puddle of Mud. I didn't realize who it was. I just kind of came into the middle of it. So
like
and I don't
this
remember
has
what
Puddle of Mud vibes.
Was he just like a drunk bastard again, or I didn't get a chance to look into it.
So the poor guy is clearly going through some alcohol issues, but I think that's been public for quite a while now. But in this instance, he was upset at the lighting fella at the show. Apparently the lights were in his eyes.
That's right. Right. I did catch that, and I wasn't sure if it was somebody's
Joe,
cell phone or the lighting.
It was the lighting guy. Joe, you've played many shows. Have you ever played a show where the light wasn't directly in your fucking eye?
You know, most of the time, yeah. I mean, the lights are always in your eyes. You can't see the people, you know, and it almost kind of works out better that way because it keeps you in your own dimension. And when you start worrying about the fourth wall, and it kind of pulls you. I don't want to say pulls you out of character, but once I start thinking about how fun the crowd's having, that's when I start to fuck up, and I don't live in the moment anymore. And like, things aren't working out. I'm not performing. You know, like I'm worrying too much about them. So I kind of like that you can't see the audience.
That's common for performers, you know, like you're so hyper focused on the task at hand. Playing the right notes, remembering the lyrics, remembering the riffs. If you pay attention, like if you stop to smell the roses, you'll fuck up.
Yeah.
Like there's that much on the line when you're playing a live concert. So yeah, I can totally see that. You look out to the crowd for a second and go, "Hey, what's up?" And, people are really digging my shit right now, and then whoops, I just lost.
You're
everything.
like, then the drummer's looking at you all mad and like, what the fuck? That's not how the song goes.
It's so funny how we rely on the drummer for all of our like timekeeping. You know what I mean? Like as soon as something doesn't sound right, what do? We
Right?
like turn around, look at the drummer just to make sure like he's on track. He always is, performing. I really miss
know it.
performing. Hey, you had a gig just this weekend, didn't you?
I did.
Tell us all about it.
So that the exact same thing we were talking about did happen to me.
You yelled at someone for having the lights on too bright?
No, not that. But I was really, really drunk. No, not that either. That was a long time ago when I used to do that. But no, just I couldn't be in the moment, and I feel like that I was really struggling in the beginning of the set, like the first couple songs. I have a couple things that I don't want to say trigger me, but kind of mess me up and don't make me feel as comfortable on stage to where I can live in the moment. And that's one, feet space. Being such a big dude, so when you're on a small stage, you got to pay attention where you step, or you could walk into the drums, or you could walk into somebody else, or trip on a chord or a pedal box, or fall off the stage. And I had all that going on for me. So like, I don't like being planted. And so it just kind of messes me up subconsciously. And it was kind of rough. And then, I don't know, I think about 3 songs in, I started living in the moment, not in my fear. And then we started playing good, and people were dancing and having a great old time. We played in Vallejo, California at the Mad Hatter's Parade.
This was the Big Blind band, right? Not
This was
the
the Big
90s
Blind
cover band that you've been doing.
No,
the
not
Blind.
the 90s cover band, and not Violation Wound, and not Zombie Holocaust.
Yeah, okay, the Big Blind. Okay, so people were dancing and enjoying themselves? Okay.
It was good.
Okay.
But yeah, just not living like worrying about the crowd and stuff like that. I mean, I know we had a one Dan Souza there. It was great to see Dan Souza. And I looked over at him once, and he gave me a big old smile and stuff like that. And I'm like, all right. And so I always just knew in my subconscious, like, all right, Dan's over there. Don't look at Dan, because he knows like where I need to be, because we're in a band together, So if I fuck up, he's going to be like, oh, Joe fucked up. And I always try to play the fuck ups off like, whatever, I fucked up. That, people forget about it quickly. So I try not to hold on to that frustration, but there was this one part where we have ska influences. And I don't know if this is like what really happened, but what I started playing like a ska style bass line. And then I kind of looked over and I saw Dan like getting into it. He's like, oh, dude, this is tight, and then I started fucking up the ska bass line. Like I'm doing this walking, doing and it totally fucked me. And I was like, dude, just don't worry about anybody else. And then we ended the set strong. Just live in the now.
I love it. Just be. Let it be. It should be a song. Let it be.
I think it should be a song.
It's got a ring to it. A ring to it. Well, that's good. It sounded like it was a success.
It was.
I feel you about the feet room, though. You mentioned about feet room and being able to breathe a little bit on a small stage. I mean, do you remember ZH Zombie Holocaust, the band that we share? 5-person band. That's standard. Do you remember that time we played at Eli's Mile High Club in Oakland?
I want to say I remember one. Did we only play once?
I only played once. I'm sure ZH has played there a few times.
I think I've only played there once with ZH, and yeah, it was a small stage. Like at that time you could only put the drums on the stage.
It was terrible. I hated it. Yeah, no, they've made a bunch of renovations to the place.
Eli's is amazing now. That's like one of my favorite venues. A big old stage, So much room.
Let me try to find it.
It's fantastic.
I've heard that they've done some great renovations. I've always been a fan of Eli's Mile High Club.
The bacon wrapped jalapenos, or it was bacon wrapped something over there that you I remember you always talking about and always wanting to
Really?
get from the kitchen.
Maybe I desired it, but I don't remember ever having it. Maybe I did have it. There's a lot of stuff I don't remember. Now I'm trying to find it, but there's footage of us at the ZH
Ooh.
show at the Eli's Mile High Club that somebody filmed, but we are so uncomfortably smushed together on that stage. I hate that. Like, I
I thought
don't
of
feel
burnt
like
ramen.
burnt ramen's a little bigger, I feel like. Maybe
I
I'm
always felt
tripping.
like I always felt like, well, especially with five. I mean, especially when I played with Fog, I always felt like it was a little crowded, and they have
Yeah.
four. When I was in Fog, they had four.
I don't feel like I'm giving 100% of a show unless I can like move around a little bit, because if they're coming in to just like look at my guitar playing and listen to the music, I'm sorry, it's not going to be that great. Like part of my appeal, I feel, is jumping around and swinging my hair around and stuff like that. If you take that away from me, you just have the guitar playing. And
Right.
that is not, it's not my strongest suit, although I do just fine, but it is not my, it's not my strongest weapon. I like to move around, but I just remember that Eli's show being a complete, I felt very uncomfortable, and then I watched one of our friends leave. I remember feeling uncomfortable, and then looking over, and then seeing one of our friends come from the back area where everyone smokes cigarettes, walk straight through and right out the front door, leave right in the middle of our
Ooh.
set. I remember being like, yeah, rough show. But afterwards, everyone said thank you and great job. So hey, you never know if they're bullshitting you or not, though, right?
You could tell, like, sometimes by people's energy.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
normally, I've learned, like, when I thought I performed bad,
Mm-hmm.
people will come up to you and say, "Dude, that was amazing." And you got to remember, it's just not you up there, and because
Yeah.
that's what I do. Like, oh man, I'm blowing it,
Mm-hmm.
but like, everything as a whole kind of comes together, and
Yeah. Yeah.
you
You're right. You
know,
don't think about that. Yeah.
I mean, it's I don't know. Maybe they're telling you. Dan told me I did a good job. Maybe he lied to
Okay.
my face. I don't think he'd do that to me.
No, I don't. I think Dan would. Dan
It's
is
like, yeah, dude, that kind of sucks, bro.
he's a smooth talker, man. Dan's got a gift. He's able to deliver things that you don't want to hear in a way that is acceptable to hear. I don't know if I worded that
Bedside
right.
manner.
Yeah, he's good. He's good at that. Like we'd always elect Dan when we had something that we needed someone to know. We just tell Dan to go tell him, because he's just the best at it. He's like good at delivering bad news,
Bad
I
news.
guess. Yeah.
He's a bad news bearer.
He's a bad news bearer. I love him. He's great at delivering good news too. I don't want to just pigeonhole him.
I don't know if I
But
ever got
anyway.
good news from Dan. No, I'm just kidding. Luckily, Dan Souza actually he saved my ass the other night, Saturday. We played Saturday night,
Hmm.
and he did me a solid and really saved my ass that night.
How so?
I was driving home back to Auburn, and had to drive through West Sacramento and all that fun stuff, and they closed the freeway down.
It's a big drive
Uh,
too, right?
it is. It's about an
Yeah.
hour and 45 minutes.
Okay.
So
Okay.
getting out there wasn't bad, but when you're coming back and you're tired, and you just jumped
Yeah.
around like
Hmm.
crisscross for a little bit,
Hmm.
you're a little tired.
Yeah, the
But
Daddy Mac had made you jump.
right,
The Mac Daddy
right.
had made you jump. Go on.
So the freeway got closed down, and I had to turn around, and I'm like sitting there, kind of like in panic mode. Where do I go? And I called Dan, and he let me sleep on his couch.
Wow, what a
And
guy.
so we, like, not only was it a fun gig, I got to see a lot of fun people. A lot of people I haven't seen since the pandemic had started, but some people that I met through the pandemic that I never met in person.
Uh-huh.
But
that's
Dan
cool.
got to come out, and then I got to go sleep on Dan's comfortable couch, cuddle with his beautiful dog, and we watched a little bit of that new Beatles documentary that's on Hulu.
I have seen a little bit of
What's
that. Yeah, we'll talk about that, but please go on.
Yeah. I can't wait to watch that in
Yeah.
depth. But then I woke up and he made me breakfast and he sent me on my happy ass way. And yeah, it was a great experience. I woke up rested. I wasn't, when you sleep on a couch and you're like, oh man, I did not sleep well. Like we all slept in.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful
great.
day.
Wow, that's awesome. What a nice way to wake up on Sunday.
Right? At Dan Souza house? Man.
Yeah. Man. Oh, well, that sounds great. Dan's what a guy. What a guy. Made you breakfast.
What a nice
too?
guy.
What do you make for you?
We had eggs, bacon, and we had I know if he's watching, he's probably sitting there like saying that he's like, it's bagels, you dumbass. Just say bagels. And I don't know where the bagels came from. I want to say they came from they got it somewhere in the state. But anyways, they had like Jewish bagels and
Jewish bagels.
there was a story to it, and like hopefully Dan can tell us the story. But they were really sought after bagels.
Oh shit! Okay.
Like a really famous bagel, and it was yummy as fuck. That's fun. Sorry, pardon my French.
I want to try Montreal bagels. Have you heard of these? Apparently, the way they make them in Montreal is special, and I can't really say anything else past that because I don't know. But I want to try these Montreal bagels, and I want Dan to come in the chat and tell me what kind of bagels that are so.
We might need to send
special.
Dan a link.
We might have to send Dan a link. I just got a hilarious comment here. So a minute ago we were talking about compliments from when you get off stage or compliments about your band. Here's Gomez Grip. The best compliment I've ever gotten. The conversation went like this. Dude, I love your band. You know my band? Of course, everyone knows Death Angel.
Nick with his long hair looks like he could be in Death Angel.
Every kind of brown guy with long hair, long straight hair. He's one of those Death Angel thrashers.
Right.
Ultraviolence.
Ultraviolence thrasher.
Yeah. Well, that's funny, man.
I love Death Angel too.
Me too. It's
one of my faves.
Hello, the boys. We them boys. We are the boys.
The boys back in town or back online.
I was listening to Thin Lizzy on Spotify today, actually, and I was, how it tells you like the top like 5 songs that get streamed by them, by any band.
Yeah.
You'll pick a band and then it'll give you the first like 5 songs. Boys Are Back in Town. Clearly, their number one song, but it's got like 250 like billion plays. Like it's insane. That's like one of the most popular songs ever, right?
Well, it's in a lot of movies. I'm sure. Like any type of return scene, like you got to put it in a movie. Right?
Yeah, it is a great. It's the vibes. Mm-hmm. It's a fucking vibe. It's a vibe. Okay, Boys Are Back in Town is a vibe. Okay, well, great. Hey, man, I'm glad you had a good show this weekend. That was good. When's the next one?
I don't have anything booked other next month. I have a gig booked for the cover band. Okay. And that's not so much, that's more work. I consider that work. I was able to quit my part-time job to do that. So, and learning a lot of music that I necessarily don't really like, but I view it as my part-time job.
Yeah.
And go up and play for 3 hours and, play some funky bass lines, some other bass lines that I normally wouldn't learn, and I get to learn something new and experience something different.
Yeah. It's like, it's a job. It's like, you're hired as fucking Miley Cyrus's guitar player. It's like
I always wanted to be Taylor Swift's bass player.
Yeah, that'd be rad. You're playing sold out shows everywhere.
Right.
And it's a job.
I just wanted her to fall in love with me, and then when we broke up, she'd write a song about me, and then I would become famous. That's
what she does, right? She writes songs about her exes and stuff like that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll still slap some Taylor Swift from time to time.
Yeah,
you gotta know your material.
Yeah, exactly. You can't just go in there blind. You got to know some of these songs. and maybe you listen to them all the time on your downtime. Hey, that's just part of the job. Maybe
like that's
maybe
normally what
you're-
I do if I'm learning something. I listen to
Yeah.
that exclusively, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna say I've gone about 2 weeks before just exclusively Taylor Swift.
Just bring the CDs with you in bed and just cuddle up to them.
Well, and I don't necessarily listen to CDs, but you got to snuggle them. Like I tape like the album booklet cover to my pillow, and I just cover or cuddle Taylor Swift as I sleep.
It's smart. You take it out of the jewel case first, right? Though, so it's not all hard.
No, exactly.
Soft.
It's nice and soft, and
Yeah.
spray a little perfume on it, so I can imagine that's what she smells like. I make you breakfast in the morning.
Yeah, you do that with my mom's perfume, and then it's like, oh, it just smells like my mom.
It's the only perfume available, though. I mean, so
Yeah,
I
exactly. I was trying to
don't
think,
want
where
it
did he
smell
get
like
perfume?
my dad.
He's a musk. Oh, that's good. I got a question here from Ed Z, host of the Sean and Ed's Do Baseball podcast. Joe, what's your favorite cover that you, quote, don't like? I think I've asked you this, but I kind of forgot the answer. What's your favorite cover that you don't like?
My favorite cover that I don't. Well, all right. So here's one. Songs that I like have to sit through and play are kind of annoying. But I do have one that I'm enjoying playing that I not really would listen to regularly. But it's what is that? Maroon 5, Moves Like Jagger.
Oh, okay. Now that's way out of the 90s.
Yeah, so
you guys are mostly do 90s covers, though, right?
Mostly, but we sprinkle in top 40. We have a 3-hour set.
Okay.
So we advertise as like nostalgia 90s with a sprinkle of top 40.
I see. So okay. Because
there's other stuff that they want to do, and that's really fun because there's not a lot of bass that's real prominent in the song. Like it's all more. I feel like sampling.
Moves Like Jagger.
Yeah, there's like synth and different things like that to where it's kind of hard for me to play like what's playing. So I get to be real funky in that song, and I'm kind of making my own bass line. And it's kind of funny, like talking about like when you mess up and look back at the drummer, and if he shoots you a dirty look, like sometimes I'll try something for like moves like Jagger, and I like look at my guitar players and make sure they don't shoot me a nasty look. Like, okay, that's gonna work, because I can't get too funky with it. I mean, it's got to be real drony, real kind of dancey.
Yeah.
And these are all things that I'm not familiar with as a bass player. So, but also the appeal for me to do. Laying down a groove for people to move to versus playing speed metal and trying to make my bass sound like a guitar.
Yeah, it is a different kind of instrument altogether, right?
Yeah. I feel like it's definitely out of my norm, to play in a deep pocket.
The deep pocket. That's right. You're usually like twang, twang, twang.
Yep. I want to be able to, do dive bombs with my whammy bar and do all cool, like stand up there like Eddie Van Halen and do all these cool fun things, and
yeah. Man, what did I heard something recently and the bass tone sounded so much like yours. Was it Frolic? I almost want to say it was Frolic.
Frolic, I feel like that's why I like him.
Okay.
I feel like that's that's me from like another dimension.
Yeah. Oh, hey, this is interesting. Want to become famous? Buy followers and viewers on clck.ru/ZD5KK.
Dang.
Okay, hey,
it's that
thank
easy?
you. Thank you so much. S4K1SSSS. Life hacks, indeed. Thank you. Appreciate that stuff. Any comments? Yeah, stuff like that. It kind of, looks like a scam, but we don't know. Have you clicked the link? Don't.
I bet you a really beautiful woman sent that to us, and she's single and ready to mingle.
Wow, in your area.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like in my hometown, probably has lots of money and doesn't care that I'm broke.
Wow. Well, yeah, keep them coming, folks. Love those. Let's see what we got here. Oh, yeah, I'd like to give a special shout out to my good friend Dio Dio Maori, he's in my living room right now. He's staying with me
Dang.
at the moment. Had a little Disneyland weekend and spent his last evening here with me. Feels great. He's in the living room right now, and he brought gifts too. It's not what I love about him. But it's something I love about him, that he'll bring gifts. Look at these custom Stray Rebel Bullet guitar picks. Now these are the big, thick, triangular picks. You know, these really triangular guitar picks, as opposed to the more teardrop picks. Look at these. They say Stray Rebel Bullet on the fucking picks. We got our own picks now. I'm very stoked about that. Dio, of course, is the bass player in the band that I play in, Stray Rebel Bullet. Let's put up a thing there. Yeah, you can follow Stray Rebel Bullet at Stray_Rebel_Bullet. Check him out. Hey, and check Dio out too. At Dio_SRB.
Musician.
Dio is an incredibly talented musician. Wrote a few songs for the new Stray Rebel Bullet album. He's got his own things going on too. I'm sure you'll be in the know about those soon. Everybody check out Dio.
I actually was just thinking about Dio today, so that's kind of funny that he was there.
What a coincidence. Yeah, he's in my living room right now. I'd invite him into the studio, but it's just not fair because he'd only hear me because I'm wearing headphones. He wouldn't be able to hear you. So he's...
No one wants to hear me, man.
Stop with that. Stop with that. I don't like when you say that about my friend.
Oh, where's he at?
Anyway, thank you so much, Dio. I love you, buddy. Appreciate that. He came with some gifts too. He got some fucking guitar strings and bass strings over there too. He brought my...
What kind of bass strings?
He Dunlop. He Dunlop out of
Benicia, California.
Benicia, California. That's right. He fixed my bass because it needed some repairs. So he fixed my bass, brought it down here, brought me strings for the bass, like a lifetime. That's like a 6-pack. He got them for free. It's a 6-pack of 6 sets of strings. I will never have to buy bass strings like ever again. That's like a lifetime supply. How often do you change your bass strings, Joe?
Nowadays, probably once every 6 months. Because
okay, that's a lot. I don't. That's more.
What's that?
That was more than I thought it was going to be. But you're a very heavy bass player. So I don't mean you're heavy.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean? I mean you play bass so much. You might have to switch them out more
Normally, the
often.
reason why I'll change my strings is because the gunk in your hands will get into the strings, and you can start seeing that they get dirty, and they just don't have the same tone when they were clean and new and young and so vibrant and bouncy.
That's true.
You know.
Yeah.
So, but back when I was a young man and gigging, like, you know, very often, and we had like practice twice a week, gigging like at least 3 times a month. Like I was going through a pair of strings every other week.
That's incredible.
I'd break
Wow.
either the E string or the G string.
Literally never seen a bass string break in my whole life. Never.
Maybe my bass I was always wondering if it was because my bass setup was a little bit off. So like, you know, maybe my bridge was snapping them, you know.
Tension or something. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, like there was like just like a weird pressure point to where, because they always broke in the same spot. But, you know, it's the strings that I prefer too are very expensive. So they're about $40 a set.
Jesus.
So, and I own a lot of basses. So when I decide to change, and I try to play them all too. So when it's time to change strings, all of them need to be changed. And then next thing you know, I'm spending like $300 on strings, which I could have bought a new guitar with that or gone on a mini vacation.
Gee willikers. That adds up, man.
It does.
$40.
But I don't play as much as I do, as I used to, especially with the pandemic, you know, but
yeah.
You know, maybe one day when Taylor Swift decides to pick me up, sweep me off my feet.
That's when you'll have that sponsorship, and you'll have a bass tech just changing them for you. Oh, that's all I want as a guitar player, just to change my strings for me. I hate changing strings. I hate it. I feel like I've complained on this very show like enough times about how much I hate complaining. I do hate complaining. How much I hate changing strings. I do hate complaining, and here I am doing it. So anyway.
But that's a valid thing. I mean, that's a pain in the ass and time consuming.
Yes. At least
takes
my
me,
guitar
like,
is
at least a good hour.
it's I have a super easy guitar to do it. It's not one of those Floyd Rose things where you got to put them in backwards and then fucking pull an Allen wrench out and all that shit. I have a very standard tune-o-matic bridge. Goes in fucking, and I still hate it. Still hate it. So someday someone will do this for me and it'll feel great. Dio also brought me these cool stickers. They say peace and love.
Ooh,
I like this. Yeah, he made these.
Nice. He has
These
a
are
machine.
fucking cool. I don't know if he has a machine. I don't know how he got these done.
So I have to
But
buy some stickers from Dio.
yeah, definitely. Let's put his up there again, just so everyone follow Dio, guys. He's a good dude. All right.
He's a pretty young man too.
He's a pretty young man. 25 years old. I didn't realize that I'm an entire 10 years older than him. 10 and a half years. Jesus Christ. Where did the years go? Yeah. Let's see here. Nick Gomez, dibs on making the next SRB music video. Yes, sir. I hope you like Not That Much Money, because that's how much we have. Peace and love. There's Dio right there. I'm underscore the underscore real underscore Dio. Peace and love, y'all. Love, peace, and chicken grease. I love that's a sick silhouette shot of him. I remember Mohawk Dio. I remember that guy. He's gone now. He's got a cool little haircut now.
Oh, is that actually Dio? It kind of
is
like Miles Davis, like 80s Miles Davis with like
Oh,
receding
yeah.
hairline.
Yeah. Funky Miles.
I thought that was Miles. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Bitches Brew. Well, that was after Bitches Brew. You're referring to 80s.
More like
Miles.
Tutu. It was Tutu with Marcus Miller on there. Bitches Brew had a lot of good musicians on it, and that was like 70 something.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know what year. It could have been 72, 76. But Bitches Brew was a great album.
I always wanted to meet Miles Davis. Seemed like a really wild, intense guy.
Right. Funky cat.
He seems like one of those guys that you'd meet and then be like, don't meet your heroes.
I don't know, man.
Hate me.
I don't know much about Miles Davis, like as the character, the person that was, the artist. Never read any of his books or watched any of his movies, so I don't know much. But I definitely would have won. I'm sure they do.
Oh, okay.
I don't know any famous ones, but I mean, I'm sure they do. But I know they made a couple years ago a Miles Davis movie that's still in my van from when I moved.
Is it like a documentary or like one of those biopics like Bohemian Rhapsody?
I'm pretty sure it's like the biopic, not a documentary. Okay. Actors went in and played something called like Miles Ahead or something like that. It was okay. I had to buy it from Netflix because I still had rented DVDs from Netflix when a lot of young kids don't realize that we used to have to go online and pick out movies and they'd mail them to you.
Yeah.
And I never returned them.
They had to mail you the DVDs. It's
right?
So funny.
And then you mail them back and they'd mail you 2 more DVDs or depending on what your plan was. And yeah, I had to pay for that and some other movie. It was that outer space movie with not Tom Hanks, but Julia Roberts and Clooney. Interstellar, maybe? But anyways, I had to buy those 2 for like $25.
It's Sandra Bullock, not Julia Roberts. You're thinking of
oh, did I? Sorry, they look the same, right?
Fuck, now I can't remember it. Yeah, I know which movie you're talking about. It was
Sandra Bullock.
Yeah.
I did envision her in my head when I said Julia Roberts.
And then you said another movie, Interstellar, which has none of those actors.
That has the redheaded girl and Hawkeye.
It's got McConaughey.
There's McConaughey in it?
Yeah, is Hawkeye in Interstellar? I saw Interstellar. I don't remember Hawkeye.
Maybe that's not Interstellar. Oh, that was I never seen Interstellar.
Okay.
But there is a space movie with Hawkeye in it.
Oh, okay.
And somebody, I don't know, it's on Netflix. Too many outer space movies that, you think I would care about, but I didn't really. I'll get to it eventually.
Help us out, folks. What the hell is Joe talking about?
And you guys know my memory. My memory is all jumbled. It makes it fun that way.
It really does. It really does. I love how when you're trying to remember something, how close yet how far you can be
So
to
far
something.
away.
Yeah, so far.
Hey, on
away.
another timeline or another universe, that I'm probably right.
That's the great uh the great catch-all to life's problems. Like, shit, man. Well, in another life, in another universe, probably would have made that shot at the buzzer.
Right.
You
Right.
know? Yeah. Hey, if something ever goes wrong, just know that in another life, in another dimension, it probably went just fine.
Exactly. And
So
another
chill.
timeline of you've succeeded.
Yeah, yeah. This is just one. This is just one. Do you think there's another timeline with you and me in it?
Oh, there's supposedly multiple timelines, millions,
That's
multiple billions. So I
man,
came
we're
across this story.
heading into Joe Rogan podcast territory here.
Ooh.
This is fucking crazy. It's fucked up. Anyway, go on.
I came across this story where, and I've kind of been obsessing about it, and
Mhm.
it involves the Beatles, right? And so,
Oh,
anyways, in 2006, this guy was walking his dog and tripped and hit his head, and some strangers stopped to help him, and he took him back to his house to revive him, right? But this guy was a traveler on vacation from another universe. All right, like he was universe jumping on vacation.
okay.
And so he recovers the guy from, that initially hit his head. And dude woke
Mhm.
up and he was in a universe where the Beatles never broke up.
Wait, isn't there a oh no. Okay.
No, there is a similar, I've never seen that movie, but I want to.
Yeah, that's if
That
the
was like
Beatles
that
didn't
dude woke
exist.
up. Yeah,
Yeah.
it didn't exist, but
That
he remembered it. So like he got
okay.
famous off of that. Seems like a fun movie. I haven't seen that either. But
Pardon
no,
me. Okay.
so this dude, I stumbled across this story online. And
Okay.
so homeboy wakes up in another person's universe who was on vacation and happened to save him, and he finds a cassette tape of the Beatles who never broke up, their latest album. Like it was the one after Abbey Road and Let It Be. Like it
Okay.
was a current album. So he was like,
Wow.
oh shit. He gets the tape and he jacks it and brings it back to our universe and then gets online and uploads that album online. And there's a website you could go to and download this album
In our universe?
in our universe.
So, okay, logically, someone recorded a Beatles sound-alike album and tried to make it sound as much like the Beatles as possible.
That's
If you're not buying the if you're not
that's
buying
not
the
what the
whole
story
like
said.
that's what I'm saying. If you're not buying the whole interdimensional traveling thing, it sounds like a band just did their absolute best to record a Beatles sound-alike record.
What it sounds like to me,
Mm-hmm.
and working on your theory,
Mm-hmm.
is whoever made this album chopped up stuff from all the guys like later on in their solo careers and intertwined music from their solo career, so it was later.
Yeah.
But
Smart.
there's this whole big stories. I believe it's at the BeatlesNeverBrokeUp.com, and you could read this story and download the album there. I've only heard one song of it. There's only one song on Spotify, and it's pretty
They're on
trippy.
Spotify?
It's on. There's just this one thing on Spotify, but I like shit like that. So that sci-fi stuff, I've been kind of obsessed with it, and probably telling everybody about this interdimensional Beatles that are still together releasing music.
I gotta find this.
The BeatlesNeverBrokeUp.com, I believe.
The Beatles never broke up.com. Sorry, this page doesn't exist. Please check the
Oh,
URL. I mean, I Google searched it and the website came up, but when I clicked it, it says it doesn't exist.
Watch, I've been bringing so much attention to it. Homeboy, no, I got it right here.
You have it?
Yeah, let's see here. I'm having I'm far away from my internet.
All right, here's
Sorry.
my fucking fiance.
Uh-oh.
That's not she's sassing me here through the That's not logical. That's being skeptic. Logically we do understand that multiverses are proven. Their instability is the reason we cannot yet further understand it. Okay. Fair enough. When I'm thinking of the word logic, I'm thinking about what we know scientifically, what is available. uh, uh, you know, like the thought of basically the theory I had presented about the fella making a sound-alike band is more logical than the alternative. So that's why I use the word logical. So perhaps I used the wrong word. I'll
I was
cop
picking
to
up what
that.
you're putting down.
I'll cop to that.
You know,
But
like
this is a serious issue for my fiance Laura. She wrote here Michukaku. She loves this guy Michukaku. I'm pretty sure she'd leave me in a second for Michukaku. He's like this philosopher guy. Yeah. Well,
I sent you that link,
did you? Let me see.
just not to your computer.
Okay. The Beatles never broke up. Yeah, that's a website. Why didn't that open on? That's the same one. Why didn't that open on my?
I was freaked out. Maybe I was talking about it to too many people. Were like, people were going on it. Like, don't take it down.
So the Beatles. Oh, sorry. He's a physicist. Okay, he's not a. What did I call him? Philosopher. He's a physicist. Sorry, he's a physicist. Okay. On September 9, 2009, I experienced something that I am having trouble believing happened to me. I came into the possession of a cassette tape containing a Beatles album that was never released. How is it on cassette?
Multiverse, bro. In that timeline, you made the shot at the buzzard, and they never stopped producing cassettes.
And I okay, right. Do we know when it was recorded? We don't know, right?
Well, he said in 2006.
Well, he found it in
2009.
2009. It just says when he found it. It doesn't say when. Oh, this is crazy. This is ridiculous.
But
this is ridiculous.
Life is a little ridiculous, isn't it?
Absolutely, you're right.
There's a
about that.
picture of the cassette. I mean, come on. There's evidence.
True.
This is looking pretty logical to me.
And
the guy pays for the website. He must really believe it. Or I guess you can get free websites. My bad.
No, you got to pay for the domain name. You do got to pay for the domain name. So he's paying for it.
I don't know.
Man.
It's just kind of been an obsession of mine. Like, I don't know.
This is interesting. I'm going to look more into it because on the surface it looks bunk in my eyes, but I am skeptical. I'm not looking at it logically. I am looking at it.
You can email him.
Okay.
Maybe we need to email him.
What am I going to ask him?
Have him on to the show.
Now that is a great idea.
On another timeline in the multiverse, he was already on the show.
That is a great idea. Coach Lore says, this story will be my new obsession. I will find out everything. Okay,
I've been
cool.
obsessed with it too, Lore. That's kind of been my life.
Having a fiance that's so hyper focused on like learning things is great because she'll read stuff in books and then come tell it to me, and then I don't have to do the book learning. Right?
Can you guys like Zoom me later and fill me in on the learning process? I'd love to hear about it.
I'd love to. Yeah, I'd love to do that. And your idea of getting him on the show is a great idea. If we can get him on the show, that'd be amazing. Laura agrees here in the comments. We got a comment from Dan Souza here. Love this guy. Lennon lives. Paul is actually dead. I've heard the Paul is dead one. Lennon lives. Paul is actually dead. They never broke up. They were also abducted by space aliens, and Abbey Road was actually a transmission from another galaxy. I have not heard that one. What other Beatles theories do the people have? Oh, yeah, I don't know, man. I got to say, I don't know a whole lot about the Beatles. I love them. I respect them. I just don't know a whole lot about them, to be honest.
Well, they're dimension hopping, time traveling badasses that, hung out with aliens. I've heard the Paul McCartney one.
You think,
but not the transmission. Abbey Road being a transmission, like what on the moon? We have music on the moon for when people find it, right?
Do we?
We have like a gold record that can be played with music on there.
Does it have a speaker?
I don't know. I figured that they'd figure out, like, if they're smart enough to, if another intelligent race is smart enough to fucking get to the moon, they better be smart enough to know how to spin fucking vinyl, bitch.
When did we put it there?
I don't know. It's something I just recently looked up, and I think it's been up there for a little while.
Okay, because we haven't been to the moon in a long time, but I still imagine we can like probably fire shit at the moon and
From my
accurate it up to where
understanding,
it
it was like
lands
a
on there.
box, like a time capsule style box.
Oh, I see. I see. Hmm. Yeah. Personally, I haven't been to the moon in a long time.
You know, I just want to be on Mars. That's honestly
It's
my
too hot.
life's mission.
Too hot.
Well, eventually we're gonna colonize that bitch.
We gotta do something about the heat because too hot.
Well, we got to stop fucking up this planet first,
That's true. Huh? It's a little too hot on this planet,
right?
folks.
Except for
Watch
today,
your
it's all.
fucking get your fucking emissions in order, folks. I drive a Prius. I'm doing the fucking Lord's work. Okay, now it's your turn, folks. Unless you want to live on Mars where it's all fucking hot.
I just
With
want to be
Joe.
buried on Mars. I
You
like
and
it
Joe are
hot.
gonna be sweating over there.
I like the sweat.
Joe's gonna be cooking you eggs with Dan Souza on the floor because it's so hot.
Ooh. On like a car engine.
Yeah, you could do that here, I guess, couldn't you?
Yeah, but you'd have to have the car on.
Oh, okay. That's the difference. If I move to Mars for one reason, it's just so I can cook eggs on my car without turning the fucking thing on.
Right. You're not using no gas, bro.
Yes. This is green. This
Now
is
you're
green.
cooking without gas.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I had my old boss was this New York guy. This old school New York guy. And he would say things. He would say terms and like almost get them right. He'd say stuff like, "Now we're talking with gas." And I use that to this day. Like he'd be dead serious. He wasn't even trying to be funny. He said, "Now we're talking with gas," and I still say that to this day. I love it.
Dan the Mover.
That was him, Dan the Mover. I didn't even. You know exactly who I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Dan the Mover. He was so funny. Is funny. Yeah. So the Beatles, man. Yeah, I don't know
Well, if
about
you
that
wanna know
space
more,
one.
If you want to know more, there's a documentary. That documentary was actually really interesting on Hulu.
So
The one that just got released.
the Disney Plus. The
Yes, correct. My bad. There is a
Yeah, yeah.
documentary on Hulu that came out in some point in the pandemic, so I am mixing them up.
Oh.
My bad.
I didn't know that. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they went back and I think it's him and some producer, Paul McCartney and some producer went back and remastered and mixed like original tape. Like whatever album it was,
okay.
you know, but they documented it and it was like them
Yeah.
just sitting in there.
I like that. Some
But this was like actual footage of them recording what I believe Let It Be or Abbey Road. I can't remember.
yeah, I haven't finished it. I'm only like halfway through the first part, but I've really enjoyed what I've seen so far. It's weird. They're just sitting around talking, but it's like fascinating, you know, because like the footage is 4K, you know, and like 60 frames per second, but it's goddamn boring so far. It's half like, and it's boring. Okay, on paper, it's boring as hell watching a band talk about just jam and like tinker around and try to get a song together. God damn, that's boring. It's boring in real life, like when you're
Well, maybe
trying to write a song.
musicians like to us because
Mhm.
like we do that. But have you ever invited a friend over to band practice and was like you think it's boring, but like it's the most amazing thing to them? You know, like at the time, like, oh, dude, that was hella fun. Like we just sat there and
No.
argued for like 2 hours and played like for like 20 minutes. And then eventually, if they showed up every time, then it's just like kicking it. They're like, yeah, whatever. Like, this is just what you guys
Yeah.
do. But
Yeah.
to the first person, like their eyes are all lit up. They're having fun. They're just like kicking it.
That's never
you know.
happened to me.
I remember we were recording the Zombie Holocaust album. And I was recording High Five and in our studio. And there was
Yeah.
like a huge audience there.
I remember that. I was there. Yeah.
Yeah, everyone was up on the flat hanging out, and I didn't want to stand underneath it because I didn't want to get crushed if it collapsed.
Good idea. Good idea.
I never stood underneath that thing.
Did you not?
I mean, if I had to, I would, but I made a point not to go up there, and I tried not to just because I'm a big dude. If I fall, I'm gonna fall hard.
Wow,
And
you're right.
I don't have spider agility, so I'm not going to be able to dive out of the way if that thing starts to collapse. I'm dead.
Yeah, you're right.
I tried my
now that I
best
think
to stay
about
out of it.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I can't picture you under that thing or up on top of the loft.
I'm sure there was times, like, because, if my amp was over there. But, yeah, I always tried to stay in the clear.
Yeah, good idea. You can't trust that shit. Good idea.
Still standing to this day, though.
Somehow. Yeah, all right, Beatles. I got to finish that thing. I got to finish it. It does look cool. But that one about Abbey Road, transmission from another galaxy, abducted by space aliens. I've never heard that.
I haven't heard that.
You think, abducted by space aliens. They started recording Abbey Road like up in space, like with some space equipment.
Well, what if the Beatles didn't record that song and it was a transmission? They're like, hey, you got to hear this. Come here and, hey, do you hear that? Playing through the telly? I don't know.
Hey, Paul.
Paul.
Yeah, Paul. You got to hear my new song.
But just like Back to the Future, when Marty went back there and like started playing what was that, Johnny Be Good?
Yeah,
was that what he was playing? And then like homeboy called his uncle, he's like, you know that new sound you've been looking for? Check this out. And he probably fucked the whole timeline up.
What does he say? Like, hey, Chuck Berry, it's me, your cousin, Jim Berry, or something like that. It's so like, oh my God, they really just hammer that. Oh boy, I love it. You know that new sound you've been looking for? Well, listen to this.
And then actually, in like this new fucked up timeline, like Chuck Berry like made Eruption because he'd sit there and play Van Halen.
Oh shit.
Wearing really tight up, bro.
Wearing really tight stretch pants.
Right.
Oh,
great movie.
Shit.
See, it's possible, bro.
Yeah, it's just what
Back to the Future claims it. It must be true.
What fucking universe are we in? What is this? Where are we? What are we? When are we?
We're living in a holographic universe, bro.
Does that mean like light can pass through me and like things can?
I don't know. There's a book called The Holographic Universe, and it's a big read. I can't finish it, but from what I'm picking up, it's saying that our reality is a reflection of a different reality. We are a reflection.
So, man, I'm too dumb to understand these theories, man. Like
this is a heavy book. It's not an easy read like this website where, like, 2009, I stole from this visitor from another dimension who brought me, like, that nursed me back to health. It's like, thanks, bro. He's like, yeah, you want some tea? Nope. But what's that over there? And Jack. Then he goes back somehow to his own timeline. He was like, homeboy sitting there in his own universe, like in the, going like, hey, where'd my new Beatles album tape go? What the fuck? It's an easy read.
Shit. Oh, well, I'll just go to the store and get a new one. He's thinking.
Right.
But in our universe, it's like, I have the Beatles tape, the only one. I can't go to the store and get it. Am I following?
Not that store.
Am I following? This has been the most Joe Rogan podcast episode of the morning after ever. We're talking about all sorts of crazy shit here today. Maybe people like that.
Just talking about the Beatles, bro. I think you started the Beatles talk.
I might have
early on, but that's what got me thinking. Like you mentioned the Beatles and it was all over. Because I've been talking about the Beatles for like the last 3 days, which is weird because I started my morning off 3 days ago listening to the Beatles. Then I found that tape and that story. And then I went to the Bay Area talking about it. Then went to Dan's house and started watching that documentary. And then I told him about the story. And then here we are. And then you mentioned something about the Beatles. And then I told you guys and the rest of America. And, I'm on tour. But the energy, it's been put into the universe,
Yes.
So,
yes.
The web is being spun.
Oh, right here on the World Wide Web, which is right? Like double Inception, right? Is that something?
Ooh, well, yeah. you seen Rick and Morty, right?
No, I'm sorry. I
There's
haven't.
an episode. There's an episode where they incept like a lot of times. But that's the whole point of
Okay.
Inception. Like, you don't even know what the fuck's going on. Like,
Yeah, you wouldn't know, right? Even if it was happening.
and you can't even follow along. Like, I need to know how many times Titanic Boy incepted that shit.
I'm lost.
Me too. Me too.
Did you just call Leonardo DiCaprio Titanic Boy?
Yeah, he doesn't go by that.
That is, he does now. Titanic
Like,
Boy.
you go onto Twitter and like tweet, "Hey, Titanic Boy," at Titanic Boy.
How dismissive of one of our prized actors. Titanic Boy.
Well, I mean, sometimes you don't get past the things you do.
Well, he's an Oscar winner now, I think, isn't he?
Only one, right?
Only one. Well, people were saying, how come he didn't get an Oscar for this? How come he didn't get one for that? But he got one a year ago or a couple of years ago. I forgot.
Yeah,
what
it was a couple
for.
years ago.
Was it
but
for that
his
bear
thing
movie?
was no.
It wasn't for that one where he fought the bear, or am I imagining that?
Wasn't that the guy who was in Batman?
Christian.
No, the villain from the first Batman. When Christian Bale, Ra's al Ghul, Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson.
Neeson.
Liam Neeson.
That guy. He was in a
Liam Neeson.
wilderness movie, right? Where he fought a bear or like a lion or or not a lion, but like a wolf.
I believe
Dances
you.
with wolves.
I don't know. Oh, that's Kevin Costner.
Oh, that's not Kevin Bacon?
No, it's Kevin Sorbo.
Feige? Sorbo.
So Kevin Sorbo is the great Hercules, who now just spends his time sharing conspiracy theories and stuff like that.
We might need him on the show too. The guy that was Hercules on the TV show?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm good. I don't want to book him on the show. I'm not a fan. He can he can go on like Tucker Carlson's show or something like that. They get along better. Yeah, man. It is Monday. It is the start of a new week. Fucking first show of December. Oh boy.
Dang, girl.
Holy moly, it's going by fast. Remember
It's almost
the
the end of the
pandemic?
year, bro.
The pandemic year was last year, and now the new year, 2021, that one's almost over.
Mm-hmm.
What's going to happen next year?
Well, then next year we're going to look at this past year. Like, no, that's all. We're going to consider it all one big year.
Yeah,
You
feels
know.
like it.
It's not going to be
feels like
2020 and 2021. It's going to be the pandemic.
The pandemic, yeah.
And watch it span for like more and more years, and then we're just going to 30 years down the road. Like, hey, remember when we spent like 15 years in that pandemic? Oh, you mean the pandemic? Like, yeah, I don't even remember what year those were.
Yeah, it's just an era now.
Mm-hmm.
It really is an era, because whenever we're interviewing our lovely guests right here on The Morning After with JP and Big Joe, it's just an unavoidable topic, the pandemic. You ask them about their album and immediately like, well, the pandemic this.
Mm-hmm.
You ask them about a music video, like, well, the pandemic. And you ask them about breakfast, and then they go, yeah, well, pandemic, fucking breakfast place closed, so I cooked it at home.
Right? It's a game changer because I don't think we'll ever stop talking about it, whether it be in a negative way or in a way that it made us change up our game. We started this show out of the pandemic.
Mm-hmm. That's true. I'm thankful for that.
I am too. There's a lot to be thankful for,
Yes. That's an understatement. We have everything to be thankful for. But yeah, I'll be honest. I'm a little sick of talking and hearing about the pandemic, even though it's not something you're allowed to be sick of. It's the reality. But,
I think you're allowed to be sick of it. It's just.
Well, I don't want to sound like one of these guys that I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying, but I'm a little tired of. I'm a little tired of hearing about it. I'm a little tired of talking about it, while respecting the opinions of everyone and how they feel about it. I'm just a little tired of hearing about it. That's all I can say.
Well, we always have the Beatles.
Breakfast with the Beatles. we can always get back to the Beatles. Get back
That's
to
right.
where we once
All we got to
belonged.
do is just come together.
It's so fucking come together. That's a gentlemanly thing to do. You and your partner come together.
Right.
Yeah. So you've seen that footage of Paul, sort of like forming the song "Get Back." He's just like playing a riff and then like humming along, and then eventually like the melody comes and then like the hook comes, and it's really crazy to see. Makes you kind of think like, did he have that in his back pocket the whole time? Did he pretend to write that just now?
Right. You just stumble across it, but he had like the whole thing just ready to go.
Yeah. I don't buy it.
I don't know. Like, you got to think of the situation. They had like only a couple weeks, and I wonder if they were living there, at that place. Like, if they had like bunks and stuff like that, where they got to like stay there. I don't know if that gets covered. But you know, and if you're spending all day, if that is your job, that's a point where they needed to put that out. You know, like, so they're working work days, 8-hour, 10-hour days, just kicking it all day.
Isn't it funny to watch? Well, you know, talking about, speaking of kicking it all day, watching Ringo is my favorite thing to do during this whole thing, because he's not writing any of the music. I mean, he's written a few Beatles songs, but he's not writing any of this. And I'm pretty sure he knows that any suggestion he gives while Paul, John, and George are writing is going to be fucking, you know, ignored. So you're just watching Ringo the whole time, just sit there watching the other guys. And then occasionally he starts like a little, like, you know, just a simple beat so the guys can like keep playing. But man, Ringo's just chilling.
You had one job to do, bro, and guess what? He did it.
He did it.
He did it.
He did it. I like Ringo. Ringo, somebody tweeted like Ringo had the least talent and the best personality of the Beatles. And I was just like, man, that is, in my eyes, that's pretty fucking spot on. Not that these other guys had bad personalities, but Ringo just, I always liked Ringo, man. Just seems like a fun guy. He seemed like more fun than the rest of the guys, you know? George with his Hare Krishna shit, you know, and Paul always writing songs. And John, you know, John's busy making out with Yoko. Yeah.
Do they make out? I didn't see that part yet.
Dude, she's like all over him. They're like writing. Dude, they're like playing, and she's like on him. Like, it's like,
yeah. There's no separating the two.
There's no. I mean, she's only doing like. She's not doing anything wrong, because John's not going like, get the fuck away from me. He's enjoying it. You know what I mean? He's like enjoying it. But you can tell she doesn't have a lot of like. She's not worried about the boundary, you know, between her and the band. She's like right up in there, like hugging on John while they're fucking playing, you know?
Right.
But John's okay with it. So Yoko didn't break up the Beatles. Okay. That's all I'm trying to say. I think
Aliens did.
Thank you. Aliens did. The aliens told him, get back to where you once belong. And that's back in Liverpool or something.
Oh.
But anyway, this is good. Ringo was my favorite. Also thought he was the most handsome and always got made fun of. I think she's saying she always got made fun of for thinking Ringo was the most handsome. I could see that. He's a strange looking guy, but that doesn't mean he's ugly. You know, strange is good. Bros before hoes, Lennon. Oh man. Yeah.
Hey, love is love, man.
Yeah. I don't agree.
When you're
with
in
that
love,
one.
you'll eat that cupcake all day long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Don't care if you're cupcaking.
It's true. I'm gonna be cupcaking for sure. Yeah, I met my fiance, this very person that said bros before hoes just now. Met her on tour. We talked about this on the show with Spencer. I met her on tour, and then I skipped town and moved in with her. So it was I'm John Lennon all the way. You okay with that? Yeah, okay.
I can do that.
But everyone was happy for me. No one was mad about it.
I'm happy for you.
Yeah, well, thank you. I appreciate that. I don't want to be made fun of. I don't want to be made fun of. I don't want to be made fun of, okay? Got the guys in the band.
Right?
I'm making fun of you. Love is love. You just said it. Love is love.
Right? And all we need is love. See, they were always saying it. They didn't believe it, though.
Oh my God! Their early songs are all "Love Me This" and "Love Me Do" and "Love Love Please Please Me" and "Love Love Love." It's fucking. It's like the only thing that they could write about back then, because they were making hits. You know, they were a hit machine in the early '60s. So everything was "Please Please Me," "Love Me Do," "Love Me Do." What the fuck does that mean?
I don't know.
What the fuck phrase is that? "Love Me Do."
But maybe that's a thing over there in the pool.
It took me a while to understand what "please please me" meant, but and then I realized he's saying "please please me," like I want you to please me, please please me. Okay, that I understand. Weird phrasing, I get it. But "love me do," what the fuck does that mean? There's probably a very simple explanation to this that's been given already. But
what's that website where you go to pick up like kids lingo?
Urban Dictionary.
Yeah.
Should
What's
I
Urban
type that into
Dictionary say?
Yeah.
You'll probably
Dominic,
get some millennials' definition of it.
Dominic, see if we can get the definition of "love me do" off Urban Dictionary. Yeah, there's no explanation. It just says a song written by the Beatles, the first recorded for their debut album, Please Please Me.
So what you're saying is we need to come up with an interdimensional story to what that means.
Yes.
And post it on there.
But how will it transcend dimensions? How will we get it from the dimension to the other dimensions? Or is that important? Should we only be focusing on our dimension? But you said interdimensional.
Yeah.
Wow, man. We need to do what that guy did with the tape. Find whatever wormhole that guy crawled through and get up in there and get to the bottom of this Beatles business.
I'm trying to go see the Beatles live.
You know what? That would be fucking sick. Paul, he still plays here and there.
He does. He played right before the world shut down. He played San Jose. It was
really?
Expensive tickets. I was going to go see that. He put out a new album.
Was that the Shark Tank?
Yeah.
You know where Joshua Tree is?
Mm-hmm.
It's like a desert kind of town here in Southern California. A couple of years ago, this bar in Joshua Tree was like, Paul McCartney's playing here tonight. And everyone was like, what? They're like, there's 200 tickets available, get them now. Or like 100, it was like 100 tickets, 150 tickets. Obviously sold that place out. And it was legit. Paul McCartney played a fucking bar in Joshua Tree. It was like the most country-ass, random little hole-in-the-wall bar. And it was just like 2 years ago. Like Paul McCartney played
He
Joshua
probably was
Tree.
on tour and had an off day. And they probably like the bar was probably right next to his hotel. They were like, hey, let's quietly stay at this motel. And he was like, hey, let's play here tonight.
That's how it worked. And it's not like it's going to be hard selling tickets. People
You just
drove
go online.
People sped there from all fucking parts of California trying to get those tickets.
Look at that Metallica concert that when they played that pop-up show in San Francisco, it sold out in 20 minutes and they just announced it. You have to get here and buy the tickets at the door.
I like that.
On, a Thursday or a Friday? I couldn't get to the city that quick.
The fact that it was only available at the box office in San Francisco leads me to believe that a bunch of people who aren't true Metallica fans might come up on those tickets, because San Francisco, I'm sorry, I love you, San Francisco, but you're full of yuppies and tech bros. You know what I mean? Like, you've changed. You've changed a lot. Respect to you. I love you, San Francisco, but fuck. Bunch of yuppies and tech bros up there. And I imagine, they understand the value of things because they're all into business and finance and tech stuff, so they could just go buy it for $19.81. They charge $19.81.
Yeah.
Did they have anything to sort of quell the potential of resale? Like, did it even matter? I don't think it mattered.
I don't think they did because I know that they did it a couple more times as they traveled.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I remember seeing it pop up on Blabbermouth. That
of
another
course.
pop up over here and another pop up. It was actual news.
If James Hetfield's shoes come untied, there's an article about it on Blabbermouth. It's all Metallica.
I mean, that's pretty. I mean, the riff master should be able to know how to tie your shoes,
He is the riff master, isn't he? I like how,
or at least was.
Oh, he is. He is. He is. I like how on their records, it's just James Hetfield playing both sides of the guitar, like both sides of the rhythm guitar. There's, it's like, you know, for those who don't know, when you're recording guitars, rhythm guitars, you got to do the left side and you got to do the right side. You'd think one guitar player would do the left side, the other guitar player will do the right side. Nope, not in Metallica. James Hetfield's like, sorry, I don't trust your rhythm playing, Kirk. I'm gonna do both sides, and it's like that on every Metallica album.
I can see that. I bet you even live, like Kirk, when it's rhythm time, I bet you they mix him a little bit down.
Probably
Because
probably.
you know, and then when it's they're all right, channel 3, like, you know, let's hit his pedal and boost him up. You know,
Yeah.
I know in Fog of War, we did that. Not the original demo, but Josh is just such a the famous Mosh Branham. He's such a dead-on sharpshooter for rhythm.
Yeah.
One of the best I've ever seen. That you couldn't match it. So he did, but he did it on also. He would also use the other guitar and the other guitar player's amp to get our sound.
That's cool. That's interesting.
So
Wow.
you know, like that. So, but yeah, like this, it wouldn't be on. You would be able to hear that it was off.
Wow.
Like our first demo, we had a demo called Metal Will F You in Hell.
Right.
And yeah, you could hear like both the guitar players, Lumberjack and Josh, both did rhythm guitars.
Yeah.
And then after hearing the discrepancy of rhythm, like I think I didn't care. And Josh didn't ask to play my rhythm parts on my bass. So I was like, yeah, whatever. I'm cool.
He's a perfectionist, you know. He's
well, you want it to be it's
Yeah.
carved in stone. I mean, one day it might be on the moon.
What was that? Metal Will F You in Hell?
Yeah.
I just saw that on my grandma's Spotify Wrapped 2021. I was very, very surprised to see that. I was like, wow, what? I didn't know she was so
I wonder
down.
if that album's. I don't think that album is on Spotify, and I think it should be.
Yes, it is. My grandma heard it, and it's on
There
my
you go.
grandma's Spotify Wrapped. Metal Will F You in Hell. Do I have that
Yeah.
right? I knew that. That had six pack and heat on it.
Yeah, I believe that reference came from Six Pack and Heat.
Oh boy, that's a funny song. ZH did a gross sexual version of that song, and it didn't appear anywhere.
Well, we had it on a demo. A demo
Did
that
we?
was printed only
Oh,
like
we
100
did.
copies.
You're right. You're right. It is on one super rare Zombie Holocaust. It's called Zombie Holocaust. What was it? Like Zombie Holocaust?
It was a demonstrational sampler.
That was it. Zombie Holocaust demonstrational sampler. And it was my first appearance on a ZH release. Jeremy Power plays guitar on the whole thing, except for one solo. I play one solo on there. And ZH did like I said, a very vulgar, sex-themed version of Fog of War's Six Pack and Heat called like Sex Pack and Meat or some shit, I think it was called. Oh my god, I'm cringing just thinking about it.
It was pretty middle schoolish, but
Yes. Yes, it was.
I thought we did good.
Yeah, no, it was I mean, of course it was a banger. Like it was a Fog of War song with the sort of ZH touch, you know what I mean? It's going to be a banger. No pun intended. No dirty pun intended. But yeah, you guys covered Boba Fett and you put it on a real release, like an EP release.
Well, if you really think about it, we released that actually the same way. Only 100 copies are made of those.
Mm-hmm.
You can find that on YouTube, but you can't find it anywhere else. Like that's I don't even have a copy of that anymore. I lent it to a friend for him to copy it and give it back, and I never got it back.
Remember how we were talking about with Spencer? We were talking about how we used to play Born to Be Wild, and then we saw Fatality play Born to Be Wild,
We
and then
never
we stopped
played
playing
it again.
Yeah. we used to play Boba Fett a lot, and then the Fog of War version of Boba Fett came out. We played Boba Fett a lot less from that point on, dude. Like, a lot less. And you know this. You know, we the guys in the band didn't want to play Boba Fett so much anymore because Fog of War done knocked it out of the park. It's what they do. It's what they do.
You're a killer band, man.
We got to have Mosh on this show. He's a busy guy. But I would love to have him on the show. There's so much I want to ask the famous Mosh Branham. Some stuff on my mic there. You don't have a fuzzy mic, but stuff gets stuck on your fuzzy mic sometimes.
Right? And then you accidentally touch it with your lips.
Yeah. No, I'm not one of those. I'm not one of those guys. You know those singers that
you're not.
You know those singers, and the whole fucking mic is in their mouth. I'm like, ew. Dave Grohl, he was yes, thank you, Vic. Cat hair. Yes.
Right.
It's cat hair. I was reading into some quote from Dave Grohl, and he was talking about how his teeth are ground down from years of being pressed against microphones. And I was like, I've sung into a lot of microphones. I've never once clanged my teeth on it.
I don't think I have either.
I'm not a front man, so I don't know, but you know, to those, Vic, you're a front man. You keep your fucking mouth like connected to that thing the whole time? Is your tooth connected to that thing? How can your teeth be ground down? Jesus, Dave, that's a lot of shows. Dave Grohl. He's one of rock and roll's nice guys, so I'm not going to give him any grief. Love him. He says yup. Vic says yes. How your teeth looking, Vic?
You got the Jim Carrey like chip.
He's like, let me show you something. Let me tell you something. That's the line. Yeah. Wrong line. Wrong character. Wrong line. How your teeth? Rough. Okay. So fuck me then. Yeah, I'm wrong, I guess. I guess it's common to keep your face on the mic the whole time.
Well, I mean, if you're like playing and performing, you're probably going to go up to the mic really quick to try to get to it, and you're going to overshoot it almost every time because you're trying to pay attention to where your feet are and not falling off the stage.
In my eyes, I think it would, or in my ears, I imagine it would sound better just a little back, though, right? Just for sound purposes. I don't know.
Well, also, like, you know, you're probably playing a venue that doesn't have a good mic, so you got to be up in there and yell into it as loud as you can because their PA system sucks. I'm
used to 5-star venues with top equipment and stuff like that.
Like Burnt Ramen.
Yeah, you can tell by the name that's definitely not a top 5 or a top 5-star.
That's my favorite venue, though. That's in my mind. It was just.
Is it really though? Was that your favorite venue?
No.
Okay,
no, it is.
Really?
No, it is. That and the hazmat, baby.
Come on.
Those underground venues.
We played Slim's.
That was cool. They fed us. We had our own room.
It's Slim's all day for me, man. Slim's the best venue I've ever played, no doubt.
Doesn't beat walking into a small, tiny punk rock warehouse with all your friends with a nice chest and like just like getting everybody in there like sideways hammered and playing metal all night.
Yeah, I mean that is fun. Felt more like a party than a show, you know. So it's two different vibes. Thing. Yeah, well, yeah, it should be, right? It should be the same thing. It just
to me anyways. I mean, that's just my opinion. I mean,
I've still never played a place where we had our own room, says Vic. Well, let me tell you something about having your own room. You think you go back there and it's a place of quietude and solitude, but no, everyone in your band has invited at least 3 people to come hang out in the fucking back room. So you go to the back room and then there's like 12 or 11 people in this tiny little room and you're like, this is not what I wanted. I want some goddamn quiet because I need to get on stage soon and I need to fucking mentally prepare. But everyone brought their friend and their girlfriend to just show them how cool it is to be backstage. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of our backstage.
I'm in my knickers.
I'm in my knickers. That's the guy. Who is that? The guy from Satan?
Yeah, but he didn't yell at me. He was excited to have me in there. Gather around, lads.
Yeah, you caught me in me knickers. And then John Lennon's there too. Oh, Paul,
Right?
you cut me in my knickers. Ooh. Is this a good job? I'm working out a new impression live on the air. I've never never done. I don't know
I
if
dig
I've
it,
practiced.
but I mean, I don't really. I mean, I got to watch the documentary a little bit more, and I'll get
Okay.
back to you on that.
Next week, I'm gonna have this John Lennon impression dialed, because I think right now my impression of John Lennon is kind of an impression of all the Beatles mixed together.
There you go.
Which is actually a safe way to go.
Yeah, that's
so-
not a bad thing. You might be able to
Yeah.
take that act on the road.
Yeah, yeah. It's really about the comedy, not the accuracy. So as long as I get my act right, everything will be good. So, all right. Hey, man. It's Monday. You got anything fun planned this week, Joe?
You know, this week I believe I have a down week. I had an action-packed week, as I previously described, and today I think I'm chilling. I got band practice for the cover band today, but no, I don't have. I'm probably going to dedicate like the next couple of days going to bed early just to catch up on my sleep. Now that I don't work
Yes.
nights, like trying to be in bed and sleeping by 9 o'clock.
I love hearing that. Yes.
Oh man, it's been a game changer ever since I started dedicating like time to like sleep. At first, I used to wake up at like 4 in the morning, and I still do wake up in the middle of the night. I do have trouble sleeping, and I toss and turn fucking all night. I get up, I sleepwalk, I talk in my sleep, you know.
Do
but
you?
Yeah, I do.
I do too. I'm told.
If you call me, I'm so used to just being up and like being like I will sleep talk to you if you call me on the phone in the morning. If you wake me up, I will straight up have a conversation with you. And in the 5 minutes, I'll probably say one thing that really gave it away that I'm asleep. But it's not until that one part you're like, wait, what? Did you just say a donkey? What about a donkey? Joe. I'm like, what? And like, you're fucking sleeping. Fuck you. Click. But I will straight tell you what the weather's like, what we're having for breakfast, and what we're doing for the next 3 months. And then you'll buy it. Like I just had this happen with my kid. And he goes, Dad, are you sleeping? I'm like, no, I'm awake. And he's like, well, I'll call you later. And he hung up on me because we had like a 5-minute conversation, and I'm talking to him. Hey, we doing this? Yeah, no, yep, we're good. You know, and then I said something to him, and it gave it away, and he realized like fucking Dad's sleeping.
That sounds like my mom in front of the TV at like 10 p.m. You know, like she had like a glass of wine and then dozed off in front of the TV, and then I come up at 11 and be like, Mom, you're still up? And she'd be like, Oh no, I was watching this thing. Like, no, what were you watching? Like, oh, I was watching the Seinfeld. Like, this is Roseanne. You're not watching Seinfeld. This is Roseanne. She's like, no, it was on. It was watching this thing. Yeah, I'm gonna get to bed pretty soon. Yeah, like you're asleep right now. You're asleep right now.
Yeah, exactly. It's funny because my son does it.
He does it too.
Yeah, Jaden will do it. But I will say the funniest time that's ever happened to me, other than like I've fallen over before. Like I've got up, started walking around, and then like be half awake and then fall asleep standing up. And I've done that a short amount of times, but my favorite time,
fucking timber,
right? No, my favorite time I was sleeping in a hotel room with two of my friends, Jesse Missman and my buddy Hotsy, and we were down in Hollywood. We were staying in a hotel room or in a hotel that was famous for Jim Morrison used to live there. So like a lot of people were going there to see the Jim Morrison room. But this is like when I drank and when I was partying and stuff. And so we had to hide in this room because this hotel was so popular. Like they checked your shit often. They checked your visitors. They didn't, we told people we only had 2 people in there. And we're hiding like 3 in there. And one of us had to sleep on the floor and 2 of us took the bed and we switched nights.
Classic.
And I was sharing the bed one night with Jesse Missman. And I guess I rolled over and slapped his ass, like in like my sleep. Like, and like, he goes, you remember doing that? I go, no, I did that. He's like, yeah, you mumbled some and went, bah! And then went back to bed.
Yes,
I was
dude.
like, well, was it enjoyable? I didn't try to pull your hair, right? Like, you're lucky I didn't wake up any more than I did. But yeah, that gets brought up often. Like, yeah, Joe sleepwalks and he does a lot of weird shit too.
Yeah, he does more than walk.
There's a little dance that goes with it.
Joe sleep raped me the other night.
I can
can't
only
even be
imagine
mad.
that's what it probably looks like, what Tyler Durden looked like, when Edward Norton passed out and turned into Tyler Durden, when all
Yeah.
that time that he was
Yeah.
doing fucking Fight Club shit and he was
Yeah.
not aware of it.
Hey, no spoilers. I'm
Sorry,
kidding.
dog.
If you haven't seen
Sorry,
Fight
bro.
Club, you should probably get around to watching that, guys.
I just read Fight Club 2, so I'm kind of in
2?
Fight Club again. Yeah, there's a 2 and a 3, and they
The
were
same-
released as comic books.
The author, the same guy, same.
Chuck Palahniuk.
Did he ruin Fight Club with them?
No, there's parts I'm like, I don't understand it. What, this is fucking weird. It broke the fourth wall. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And it's just as crazy. I recommend it. If you liked Fight Club, and that's a movie that I watched often. I loved Fight Club, like absolutely loved it. You'll like the book.
I'm one of those guys that I just don't care about Fight Club. I've seen it a couple times. It just didn't click with me like it did with everyone else. Good movie, great script, great performances, crazy, twists, and all that stuff. I just never went,
Well, there was a percentage of people who agree with it, because,
people fucking love this movie. The people are like, they don't just like this movie. It's like a cult fucking
it is
massive
now.
hit. Yeah.
But when it came out in the movie theaters, it did not perform well.
Oh,
it actually started doing well and became a cult like once it got released on video.
Yeah.
And that's when they were like, oh shit, whoa, we do have something. It was a sleeper.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, everyone was disappointed by it. That's why, you didn't see a sequel come quick later. Maybe there'll be a sequel a couple years down the road. Old Man Fight Club, but yeah, dude, like I was one of the guys that when I'd get home, get into my room, I'd put on a record, put on a fucking VHS and put that shit on mute and just start having that as background, like noise, or not even noise, but like just imagery, and
that's a red flag for a lot of women. I'm not saying that's correct.
That's why
but
I've been single for like 7 years, so
my
red flags are only viewed by myself. So
I read a tweet by some lady, and it was highly controversial. A lot of people disagree, but it's like if it's a major red flag if Joker or Fight Club are on his list of favorite movies. And I'm like,
really?
Yeah. I never saw Joker, so I can't speak to that one. But obviously it's everyone. She's allowed to have her opinion. She doesn't like guys that like Fight Club. Fair enough. Yeah, it didn't speak to me, but I will. Maybe you got to
give it another chance.
Yeah. My fiance, Coach Lore. I watched Fight Club on repeat daily when I was 18. There you go. That's you, Joe.
See?
Yeah.
Well,
red flag.
Not me. There you go.
I should have seen the red flag.
Well, she probably didn't mention it until now.
Yeah. She kept it a secret.
She catfished you, bro.
Maybe she's not even the person I think she is. Maybe she's fucking Tyler Durdening me.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I like it.
She likes Joker a lot too. So she's like
the new one,
yeah.
That one I've only seen that once. It was okay, but I knew there was something there. I just don't watch movies like how I used to. I'm watching TV shows.
Does the Joker just walk around and dance for an hour and 45 minutes? Because that's all the commercials and previews and every clip I've ever seen from the movie shows.
He likes to dance around, but it fits, his psychotic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, fuck, I dance around.
Yeah.
I just don't do it in front of anybody because I can't dance.
You're like me then.
Even though I do at work and I'm on camera, so I do a lot of weird things at work, and they're probably sitting there going like, "What the fuck is up with this dude?" And I'm on camera 24/7, so
they just watch.
I'm like doing yoga,
room.
like I'm doing yoga. I yell in the room when I think there's no one there, because it's echoey.
Mama.
Oh yeah, and I do the mama. I got people saying that too. Like they're probably sitting there going, "You know what? He makes good food, so let the fat guy do whatever the fuck he wants." He shows up. He's not on drugs that we can tell. He doesn't look like he's on drugs. Let him fucking do his shit.
He just yells "mama" all the time.
I yell a lot of things.
Don't worry about it. He can't help it, man. Don't worry about him.
Right. No, and that's actually a lot of the guys that work for me. They'll ask who I'm talking to. And they figured out that I talk to myself. I talk to myself constantly. It's something I've always done. It kind of helps my ADD, like helps me organize things. So my legal name
Yeah.
is George.
Yes.
Okay. So with the background check and then what I've had to do, like I didn't tell them my alias of Joe.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't know Joe. So I'm always there going to
Oh.
George. And so like when I'm talking to myself, everyone's like, who the fuck are you talking to, George? And I go, I'm talking to Big Joe. And I tell them I'm talking to, and actually I'm trying to remember to, like, when I do it out in public, who are you talking to? I'm talking to George. It's just too hard to, I'm not actually, my mind's not like that. I just talk out loud because
I want you to keep telling them you're talking to Big Joe, so they think there's just so you see some. They think that you see some extra guy in the room that they can't see.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And then a lot of people don't know. Like if you know me and you've known me for years, you'll know that my legal name is George.
Yes.
But like I don't know, you do a background check and look up for George or Terry, you're not going to find any of my social media. You're not going to find any. You're just going to see my criminal record, which is non-existent.
Yeah.
But you're not going to see like this. You're not going to find this show. There's no tags, and they're going to like, hey, that Big Joe kind of looks like George.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Like that. Don't look at it like that's no big deal.
It's like a stage name,
right? But it's
like
my
life
stage name. It's
my.
It's not even a personality thing. It's just
yeah.
Kind of just a weird circumstance of life.
I found out your name was George the hard way by
Ooh,
calling
what's
you.
The hard way?
Well,
I slap your ass in my sleep. My name is George, bitch. Boom.
No, mine was much more awkward than that. I called you Joseph jokingly. I was just we didn't know each other for very long, and I think I just jokingly called you Big Joseph, or just called you Joseph. You're like, actually, my name is not Joseph, it's George. And I went,
and I still do that if anybody calls me like whatever Joseph, and I go, my name's not Joseph.
And they're like, yeah, okay. I'm like, no, it's fucking not okay.
Well, and then the story goes even, the bagels were from. Yeah, there you go. Dan just commented on the bagels. So Dan's been here the whole time, just been ignoring us.
By the way, the bagels were from the Williamsburg Bagel Company in the heart of the Hasidic. Okay. What's the Hasidic? Is that like a district of... Oh, okay, you finished it. In the heart of the Hasidic community of Williamsburg in New York City. Well, how did you get your filthy hands on them, though? Did you order them online?
Keep your filthy paws off my silky draws.
So Dan, send me a link. Not here. Privately send me a link where I can get these Williamsburg bagels, and I want you to look up Montreal bagels because I heard they're the shit. Something about the process of how they're made, the water or something like that. I want to try these Montreal bagels. We'll have a bagel off, okay?
Ooh.
We'll have a bagel off. It might be the first ever bagel off in history. Definitely the first one in the history of the show. So cool. All right. Well, hey, man, Joe, this has been fun. Anything else we didn't cover today? Anything special?
I'm sure that there's plenty we didn't cover, but I think that we might want to save the good stuff for next week.
Okay. Fair enough. Is there anything you'd like to plug while we've got you?
Right now, I'm not plugging anything other than I just started doing. I started hosting a trivia night in Sacramento.
Ah, yes.
So it's the first Friday of every month.
Mm-hmm.
And I just did my first one, and it went great. It was absolutely fantastic. No one showed up. And
is that why it was fantastic? You got let off the hook.
I got paid, and I just sat there and played my bass. I brought my little ukulele bass, which I bring everywhere.
Literally, no one showed up?
No one. I did not perform. I kind of saw it as a performance because I did it for a friend.
Yes.
He's the guitar player from the Big Blind and the cover band. His name is Austin, and he works a lot with this coffee house, and he does like open mics and he does all these good things, as for money, and like that's like his employment status is he's a professional musician. He does all these little side things. And so he had to do it, and he asked me, he's like, you got a good personality, you should go up and do this, and I'm like, you're just asking me because you don't want to get stuck with it. So I'm like, yeah, dude, I'll help a friend out. Like, that sounds like fun. So I built a game, and I drove an hour in traffic to get out there. And I got there and bought a cup of tea, and no one showed up. And I just sat there and played bass. And so now I have a game prepared for next month. first Friday of the month. But I do know that there's some
Perfect.
people that might want to come out and do it. I know that I don't know a lot of people out here, but I'm trying to get some people to come out. So if you are in the area, or even my Bay Area friends want to take a Friday night trip out to Sacramento,
That's
do
huge.
some trivia.
I love that, man. You're we need a nickname for you, like the quiz master, or the
I think I'm just gonna go as Big Joe, and then probably try to, like I was gonna have a little cartoon character made up on all my sheets, and like trivia
Yeah.
night with Big Joe.
Oh,
And,
that's great. Yeah.
maybe even like make sure I talk to George, or George talks to Joe, and I'm always talking to, but I see it as almost as a performance. I go up there and I'm getting paid to go host this thing. So I was able to, with that and my, the cover band, I was able to quit my second job, so
Fucking so sick.
if you're going to
That
make
is
me sit
awesome.
there, yeah, if you make me sit there and not do anything for the 3 hours, I'm down with that. I got TV on my phone, like I got homework. I got cover songs I need to be learning.
You are living the dream, partner.
Trying to, when they let me out of jail.
You're doing it. You're living the dream, man. You got to quit your second job and fucking get paid being the quiz master general and
being the entertainer. Quiz Master General Big Joe. And I'll walk out like from the hallway playing like War Pigs or something.
Okay, good. War General. It's all there. It's all there.
Right?
The Trooper, maybe.
Ooh.
Yeah. Whatever ones gets the crowd more into it. It might change week to week.
I mean, but also if no one shows up, I'm sure I'll just milk it for what it is. I'll be prepared to sit down and eat free cookies and drink tea and watch Invincible on my phone.
What a life, man. Joe's doing trivia week, trivia nights every first Friday?
Every first Friday. So it's
every first Friday.
It's not. It took me a couple hours of work of setting up the game.
Well, you should set up a little game for the show, man. Do a small, maybe 5-10 minute trivia game for the show. That would
I'd be down if our I know our audience base isn't the most honest group of people. They'd probably be Googling all my questions and answering all those things. I know that Dio guy is not that trustworthy. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, he's out in my living room right now Googling how to.
Hopefully, he didn't hear me say that.
Yeah. we could give the link out for the show, have him right here in the studio with us, and then you can fire off a couple trivia questions. Ooh. That way we can see if they're Googling or not. You know what I mean? Like hands up, answer the question. We'll hammer this out. This I don't know.
All right, I like it.
I think we should do some kind of trivia thing on the show, just because you're the quiz master general.
It'll be exclusively to Fight Club trivia.
Oh man, I'm out. All right. Enough of this shit. Let's get out of here, folks. Thank you so much for watching The Morning After with JP and Big Joe. Please follow us at The Morning After TV. Please follow Big Joe at Big Joe 616. You can follow me as well, JP_SRB. While we're plugging things, SRB stands for Stray Rebel Bullet. It's the name of the group me and Dio Mari are in. We got an album coming out soon. The aforementioned Jesse Missman did this logo for us. Jesse the Butt.
What a talented artist.
Yeah, I don't know if we ever paid him. Jesse, we'll settle up. Let me know. But anyway, they have a new album coming out real soon. It's going to be fun. As always, today's episode sponsored by thewarriorroom.com. HIIT classes, yoga, boot camp, guided meditation, all from the comfort of your own home. Still unsure about going to the gym, the cooties, the looky-loos, insecure about that kind of stuff? Don't worry. Go to thewarriorroom.com. Completely judgment-free environment. You can do all this stuff from the comfort of your own home at an incredibly affordable rate. And that's no bullshit, so check that out. This is bullshit right here. Every episode is sponsored by Trilogy brand medicated beef jerky. That's Trilogy 123 beef jerky. Thank you, Trilogy. I just got a box in yesterday. The cotton candy. You said cotton candy was your favorite, right? Was it bubblegum?
That's right.
Bubblegum flavors? Yeah. cotton candy, great flavor of Trilogy medicated brand beef jerky. So yeah, that's going to be it for me and Joe. I'm saying the word a lot, which is what I tend to do when the show is winding down, which usually means it's time to end the show. So guys, thank you so much for watching. You can check us out here every Monday, 11 p.m. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Back it up. a.m. You can check us out here every Monday, 11 a.m. I said p.m. Man, should we do a late night show? No.
I think it'd be fun if we had a pop-up show.
A pop-up show. Yeah. I don't know if we have that pull yet. Do we have enough viewers, that'll really actually show up for the thing? That's
I bet you we would, but honestly, I do it for you, man. Like I enjoy coming out here every week and hanging out with you and fucking spitting the shit. Like it's the thing to do. So I mean, if people want to join us for awesome pop-up specials, they can. But if they don't want to, I get to experience life with you.
I can't top that. Couldn't have said it better myself, Joe. Thank you so much. And this is a pleasure doing this with you. It's my Monday. It's the highlight of my Monday. So thank you, Big Joe. Thank you for those kind words. And thank you, everyone, for watching us live on the morning after with JP and Big Joe every Monday at 11 a.m. Twitch.tv/YoungPopeTV. And give us a like, give us a subscribe, all that stuff. So we can keep the lights on, as they say. That's going to be it for us. For Big Joe, I'm JP. We will see you next week right here, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thanks for watching The Morning After with JP and Big Joe. Peace.